Hi, I'm Zeke with the Sonoran Desert Institute, and here at SDI, we're extremely proud to be sponsors of the Hickok 45 channel. You may be asking yourself, what is SDI? SDI is an affordable, fully accredited distance learning education program. We have an emphasis in gunsmithing and firearms technology. If you decide to become a gunsmith, you'll need to learn proper gunsmithing techniques, and while some people will use an apprenticeship program to gain these techniques, a formal education will ensure an organized, more comprehensive learning environment. But when you choose a gunsmithing school, it's still kind of difficult. So it's very important that you choose a gunsmithing school that meet the following criteria. First, look for a nationally or regionally accredited program. And whether distance learning online or through a brick and mortar ground program, a gunsmithing program should always have a hands-on element. And finally, make sure you look for a school with high student satisfaction. Find reviews online, check out its Facebook or other social media, or get on the same social media sites, find some alumni, and ask to speak with them about their experience. And while we're not at SDI today, I do have some of the firearms I've learned to work on and build myself through the SDI program. So let's go take a look at them. Okay, maybe not. We'll just get seriously. Can I not get a chair that fits me? I'm a big guy, dude. So I guess back to what we were originally talking about. Above all else, find the school that's right for you. It's not always going to be the distance education programs or the brick and mortar ground schools that are for everybody. Just make sure you do your research on multiple options before you make that decision. But if you want more information on our gunsmithing school, just go to www.sdi.edu or call us at 1-800-336-8939.
All right, welcome back, Gun Culture Radio.
Again.
Yep. Yep. You guys know what it is. And,
man, that other intro was so funny. It was good.
Which one?
The one we just did. But we're not going to show anybody.
Yeah.
But it was hilarious. That was probably the funniest intro you've ever done.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was probably.
Too bad it'll never be seen, though.
Yeah, nobody will ever see it.
Yeah, that's cool.
This will be the tribute to the greatest intro ever.
Yes. This is not the greatest intro ever, but it is the tribute.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Where's the shiny demon in the middle of the road?
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
Only a few people are going to get that.
Yeah.
But that's cool. Because we love them because they like Tenacious D.
Yep. Those guys are awesome.
But we were talking about, what were we talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we were talking about me not talking.
And how you're the annoying guy from the end of the
I am the annoying guy for the end of the show.
Yeah.
Or the end of the videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to tone it down. I'm just going to be very monotone from here on out.
There you
I won't
go.
smile.
Bueller.
And you have to hear it over and over. That was my whole master plan.
Yeah.
We didn't really want to sponsor the show. We just wanted to get under your skin. Just John, not Hickok.
I knew it.
Just Big John. Because when he's editing, he's got to be like, "Hi, I'm Zeke with SDI."
Yeah. It's like cemented in my brain. I have dreams about it.
Well, I told you, it annoyed me.
Yeah.
Like the first one, I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And the next time I go to watch one of Hickok's videos, and it's, that's neat. And the third time, I'm like, next.
I had this really disturbing dream where I scored with this really hot Asian chick.
Uh-huh.
And then she said, "Hi, I'm Zeke from SDI."
Because I look like a really hot Asian chick.
Yeah, it was really weird.
Yeah,
it freaked me out. It took me like a few weeks of therapy to get over
Typically, if there's a 6'7", 300-pound Asian chick, you probably wouldn't want to hook up with her in the first place.
No, she looked normal.
She just said my voice?
Yeah,
Wow.
she had your voice.
That's a little creepy.
Yeah, it was.
And we're on couches. We don't need to analyze it right now, but I think you may have to deal with it.
Well, I've already gone through that,
Okay.
It was a tough point in my life. But
just making sure.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to have a weird dream.
Yeah.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
See, I was joking. You're going to actually have the weird dreams, see?
But we did some new videos.
Yep.
Some new commercials, I guess we'd call them.
Yeah.
And I'm not as over talky, and they were very threatening.
Yeah, I made sure of that.
Yeah, Bowie knife was used.
Yeah.
I think there was a grenade at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I mean, please tell your dad to forgive me. I mean, he was a teacher, and when I was in high school, I fell asleep a lot. So there was a couple of those videos where I was out.
Yeah.
So
I used to do that. I would like sleep, against my hand, and then my head would like fall off. You would do that, and you wake up.
And your eyes get real big, like.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not in trouble. What's bad is when they don't wake you up, but they'll just start teaching right in front of your desk.
Oh,
And then you wake up and they've been teaching the whole time and they just look at you and you're I'm dead.
Oh, have you seen that? There's a YouTube video of a classroom where this kid's falling asleep. And apparently they talked about it and got the whole class in on it. And the teacher starts clapping.
Yeah.
Right? And the whole class, or no, what is it? I'm trying to think. Yeah, the whole class starts clapping. And then the kid wakes up and starts clapping too.
That's awesome.
Yeah, YouTube that if you haven't seen it.
See, it's so
funny.
much nicer nowadays. Like when I was in junior high, I remember like if kids acted up or slept, there was one history teacher in the junior high I went to that he would throw garbage cans against the wall.
Jeez.
Like those, the steel garbage
Yeah,
cans that they
yeah.
have in classrooms. I mean, he would just slam it against the wall.
Man,
Whew. But no, he'd get arrested now for that.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, it used to be that you could bring a knife to school and it wasn't a big deal. I know.
Oh, dude. When I was sophomore in high school, I was
Yeah.
down in Franklin County High School in Winchester, Tennessee. I mean, people would have their hunting rifles in the rack in their truck.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Yeah, nobody got hurt.
No thing. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Not once.
That's crazy how drastically that has changed.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, I accidentally brought a Leatherman to school. Like I left it in my backpack,
Right.
because I was always outside doing outdoor,
Sure.
And I left it in there and in my locker. Got my bag out and then realized it was there, and I like flipped out because I was like, "This is it. This is the end of me." Because
Right.
they scare you so much about bringing a knife to school. I was like, I'm done. Like, this is it. I'm going to jail. I'm never, I'm done. But, luckily it worked out okay because they knew I wasn't up to anything or whatever. But
That's true.
But it's amazing how they put the fear of God into you about that kind of stuff in school. It's a knife. I mean, come on. I mean, I know that there's some schools that have kids that might try to stab somebody, I guess. But I don't know.
It was interesting. Very, very interesting.
I know, like, tell us how it was interesting.
It was one of those moments just now where I heard everything you said. I got it, but then I was thinking about another subject.
Yeah.
And then I lost like the last 3 or 4 words you said.
Yeah.
So I just like said something. And I said it was interesting. And then you laughed and I was like, oh, it's very interesting. And I have no clue where to go from there.
I do that all the time.
I got a call real quick.
You got a call? Okay.
Yeah, hang on.
Are you gonna order some pizza?
It may be good. I don't know.
All right, what the hell were we talking about?
And we're back. I got a phone call. So, yeah, that was cool. It's a great call.
Was it?
Yeah.
What happened?
It was, we partnered with Hornady on our reloading presses, and they were just touching base with us, see how things were going. And make sure you. I was going to turn it into an infomercial.
Oh.
At SDI, you could learn reloading and get a Hornady lock and load press. Actually, no, we did partner with Hornady and Gun Digest on a reloading program. Reloading program. This is water. I swear, wherever it went. Yeah, here you go. That's just water. It's only water. I can't do the Jim Gaffigan high voice.
Oh yeah. I don't know how
Why is he
does
talking like that?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. He's drinking water on his show.
Jim Gaffigan's great.
But yeah, so we partnered with them, and yeah, with the program you get the Hornady lock and load press, your choice of either 3 handgun dies or 2 rifle dies. And you get the reloading manual that Gun Digest and us put together, and our instructors too. So
cool.
It's pretty cool, and you get it all. I think we've got it at $6.99. The lock and load AP press alone is like $5.75.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a pretty good deal with everything you get.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's cool.
SDI.edu.
Yeah. No, go ahead and get your SDI plugs in because I'm not going to show your
Yeah,
face.
I know. You're not going to let me talk
video.
anymore. I'm just going to do the rest of the show like this. Hey,
Yeah.
SDI.edu. And then answer your questions.
Yeah. Or that can just be the answer to every question I ask you.
SDI.edu.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what do you think about the new Star Wars movie?
800-336-8939.
Oh, have you seen Jurassic Park yet?
SDI.edu. Yep.
What about, are you going to see the new Terminator movie too?
Actually, I did see Jurassic Park.
Did you?
It was pretty good.
Yeah, I liked
Yeah,
it.
yeah. A lot of people are complaining about different things in it, but I mean it's about dinosaurs on an island.
Yeah.
There's not going to be much realism to it.
Yeah, exactly. It's not supposed to be realistic.
I saw it in 3D. I usually like most 3D movies. The parts that were good 3D were good, but it would have been just as good 2D.
Yeah, it's funny. I had the same reaction. I saw it in IMAX 3D.
Yeah.
And it was like, I don't know, I wasn't blown away by the 3D element. There was parts of it that were kind of almost blurry because of the 3D.
I'll tell you a movie I saw recently, IMAX, that was made for IMAX, San Andreas.
Oh, I bet it was.
Holy cow. You're talking about just like anxiety from like all the shots looking down. And
Yeah.
That movie was unbelievable.
I saw Interstellar on IMAX.
Oh, that would have been good.
That was nuts.
I finally saw it, by the way.
Oh, did you?
Good movie.
You like it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did the end trip you out?
Yeah. Yeah. But that's the way I think. So I was like, that's what I've been thinking the whole time.
Yeah. It does make a lot of sense.
No.
A lot of people, it's interesting. It's fun to read the reactions to that movie online.
Yeah.
Because it's like people who like clearly did not get it at all, and they're just like, oh, this is ridiculous. That would never happen. It's like they clearly they didn't understand like what they were trying to say there. It wasn't the point of the end of that movie wasn't exactly like as it looked on the surface.
No.
At all.
No, it was a lot deeper.
Yeah.
It was almost like a ghost movie too, all at the same time.
Yeah.
Time traveling ghost spaceman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I mean, it was the 2001 The Space Odyssey of this generation. I think.
And it was one of those things where like when you get to the part with the yarn, I won't spoil it for anybody.
Yeah, the yarn. Okay.
Yeah. The movie is a different movie all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And from there on out, it's a whole nother movie. It's
Yeah.
like, whoa, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was good. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I think I bought it.
Yeah, I got it too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did. But yeah, the Star Wars movie.
Oh man, I cannot wait for that.
I got chills when they came out with the trailer with Harrison Ford in it.
Yeah.
He was like, "We're going home," and it's Chewie and Harrison Ford. I'm like, I'm sorry, Chewie and Han Solo.
Yeah.
He was always Han Solo.
Yeah. Exactly. Never anything. He was never Indiana Jones.
Nope.
That was Han Solo playing Indiana Jones.
Have you seen that little internet thing going around where the whole Harrison Ford and James Earl Jones, who of course was the voice of Darth Vader, right? Had a consortium of time traveling to kill Hitler.
Wow.
Because of course Harrison Ford was Han Solo, James Earl Jones was Darth Vader.
All right.
And it says Harrison Ford and James Earl Jones partnered up to kill Hitler. Because this guy, and it shows the main bad guy on Indiana Jones is the same as this guy. And it showed one of the Darth Vader's troopers.
Yeah.
And then it said, and this guy, and then it showed another one of Darth Vader's troopers is also this guy. And it showed Hitler from the Indiana Jones movies and is the same actor.
Wow.
And it said, so Harrison Ford went back in time to 1950 whatever to kill Hitler, and it shows Harrison Ford when he runs into Hitler in the crowd that one time, but he failed.
Yeah.
So James Earl Jones went even farther back in time in another galaxy far, far away to finish off the job. And it shows Darth Vader choking the trooper guy at the beginning of one of them.
Wow.
And it's the guy that played Hitler in Indiana Jones. It was pretty funny.
That's pretty funny. Have you seen the one about the connection between E.T. and Star Wars?
No.
You seen that one? How so like E.T. in the movie E.T. he like the kid is playing with Star Wars toys,
Right.
and E.T. like recognizes them, and then also whenever they dress him up like a ghost,
Yeah.
and so a kid dressed up like Yoda goes by.
Wait, hang on. We almost forgot guns. Go
Oh,
ahead.
yeah.
E.T. What?
And he's dressed up like a ghost, and he's walking down the street, and a kid dressed up like Yoda walks by, and he acts like
Yeah.
he knows him.
Okay.
Right? And then if you watch Star Wars
Yeah.
and the prequels, you can see a bunch of E.T. looking characters like in the council.
Ah,
Yeah.
interesting.
So E.T.'s a Jedi.
Okay. So
mean,
his
his
finger is like a lightsaber.
Exactly.
Ah,
Yeah.
light finger saber
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of lightsabers, when are those going to come around? You know, we can stop using these clunky, outdated things called guns.
Well, when they ban all our guns, we'll create lightsabers, and that'll give us something else to ban.
I don't even know how that would work. It seems like if you did make a lightsaber, it would be too dangerous, anyways. You know what I mean?
What are you talking about? It'd be awesome.
What if you drop it? It would just go, you know, through.
Well, you'd have to find a real lightsaber would almost have to look like the toy ones.
Yeah.
Because you'd have to have something that stops that energy beam.
Yeah.
Because it would almost have to have like a bracket. We could invent it right here on the show.
Yeah, we could.
You could have some little bracket that goes up with a mirror that stops the laser.
Yeah.
But then the laser's still hot enough to cut stuff.
Yeah.
But would it be able to deflect laser guns like in the movies?
That's the thing.
That's the coolest part.
Yeah. But I think that requires Jedi skills. Because technically, with a samurai sword, you could deflect bullets. It's just impossible. It's just impossible.
Deadpool did it in the Wolverine movie.
I don't think I saw that one.
What?
I'm not a big like X-Men.
Your nerd card has been revoked.
I'm not a nerd, so I never had one.
That's right. You're a big jock athlete, basketball.
That's right. Yeah.
Hang on.
I dabble in nerdisms.
Nerddom.
That's it.
See, I was always like a comic book nerd.
Yeah.
And then I shot up to 6'7", and then basketball made me cool.
Yeah.
But I still was closeted nerddom.
Well, see, I was never cool, so that's why I played
Even
both
basketball.
worlds. Basketball? No.
Yeah.
No.
Really? Didn't make you cool?
No, it didn't. I don't know. I guess some people. High school is so ridiculous.
It
It's
is.
just like it is. It's so silly.
Cools, nerds.
Yeah, all the different little like. In a way, it's almost like a microcosm of the real world too. Though at the same time, you know, you have all the different little cliques, and they all think each other are stupid, and
It's hierarchies of people and
yeah,
AK people versus AR people.
yeah,
1911 versus Glock.
exactly.
I don't need nothing but a 45.
Yeah. Oh man, it's so funny the stuff you hear. Like Dad and I were. I won't say where where we was because the guy's listening, but we were somewhere, and this guy was talking to us, and I can't remember what Dad said. He made some comment, but the guy was like, "Oh, I never flinch," and he was serious. He was like, "I don't ever flinch," and I just looked at him like, "Okay."
You never flinch?
Yeah, it's impossible. Like everyone flinches. It's just a matter of like how much. Like the best shooters flinch the least.
I get it if you're like 2-3 rounds into a string of shots. Yeah, at that point you're kind of okay. But the first shot, almost always you're.
Yeah, I mean
it's instinct.
You're gonna flinch a little bit. Like the gun is not going to hit. It's gonna move when you pull the trigger a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean it's going to. There's no way to avoid that. The best shooters are just the ones who do it the least. And it was like. Okay, maybe he thought like flinch is in like before you shoot the gun.
You should have just looked at it and went, "You don't flinch at all." And when he says, "Yeah," just go, "Ah!"
Yeah, and then hit him 2 times.
Yeah, punch 2 for flinching.
Yeah,
we should take him to the range and we'll just stand on either side with our fists balled up. Like,
yeah.
All right, every flinch you get 2.
I've heard that when you train with Jaeger, that's what he does if you flinch.
No, he's not that bad.
He doesn't do that? Okay.
Yeah. He'll yell at you and get in your ear and say crazy stuff. But other than that, no, it's not bad.
Yeah. I keep meaning to take some training sometimes. I'm not like, I would never be crazy about it like how some people are because, I don't know, but I think it would be good. It'd be good to do though, just to get some of that, learn some of those fundamentals and some of that kind of stuff.
It's a responsible thing to do. I mean, we know a lot about guns in and out, and every class I've ever taken, every single instructor, I'm holding a burp. I could probably do it on this show, can't I?
Yeah, you can.
Every single instructor is always saying, even they continually take classes.
Yeah.
Because you never know everything there is to know.
Right.
And everybody will always come up with something new. The people that scare me and I don't want to take their classes are the ones that say, "Oh, I know it all and this is the way it should be."
Yeah.
I don't want to take your class.
Yeah. And see, the reason I haven't trained isn't because I have some higher opinion of myself. It's just because I don't care quite enough to go through it,
Yeah.
because it's, I feel like I could reasonably defend myself in most situations, but that's the thing. You never know. Even if you did train a lot,
Yeah.
you don't know. It's going to be different every time. Depends on the context. It might be easy or it might be impossible. Whatever.
Well, logically,
but if you train, it's going to
logically,
help you.
people our size don't need to train because we're going to be the first one shot anyways.
Probably.
so it's like, no,
Yeah,
they're going to get me.
but see, when we get shot though, it's a smaller caliber. See, relative. It's all relative. So.
Oh, good point. So
Yeah.
us getting shot with a 45 is like getting shot with a 22.
That's right.
No.
More like a 40 probably.
I think when it comes down to the physics of like foot-pounds of force at impact, it's going to be pretty much the same.
Yeah, that's probably true. I'll tell you.
Now, there's more room for them to miss vital organs.
That's true.
We may have a better chance of surviving.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's especially like in my brain. It's
Oh,
hard. It's hard to hit the good
Yeah.
stuff.
My skull's so thick, it's like freaking. Oh, speaking of thick skulls and bullets, did you see that video online of the Russian soldier that took an AK-47
No, I haven't seen that.
to the dome?
Wow.
And it just looks like shrapnel at first, right? And his superior is trying to get it out. And he's like going, oh, and they're all laughing, going, oh. And he pulls the little shrapnel piece out. And you're like, yeah, okay. No big He goes back in there. It's a full slug.
Oh, my God.
my God. And it just stopped in his skull.
Wow. Was it a ricochet maybe?
I have no idea. It was all in Russian, so I didn't understand what they were saying.
Okay.
Yeah. Unless they said vodka, which
Yeah.
they didn't.
Yeah.
So I didn't understand what they said. Not a
They
word.
might have. They just use slang for it.
True.
Yeah. So we've already established that the AR is better than the AK because of that. That one instance.
No.
But I thought we were supposed to base things on one single instance.
Oh, you're right. Yes, we are. Yeah,
Yeah.
because of that. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, there was the one time that my AR had 2 failure to fires in a row. So in that instance, then the AK became better than the AR.
Yeah.
If we go with that philosophy.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
That's why my best gun ever changes all the time.
Yes. Yeah. My best gun ever is a rubber band gun.
Yeah.
It never fails.
Yeah.
Doesn't kill anybody or hurt anybody.
I don't
Maybe
know.
a welt.
Yeah, that's true. I had some pretty cool toy guns when I was a kid. There was these guns. I don't know if they still make them or not, but it was like an early Nerf gun.
I was going to say, as a kid, your toy guns were real guns.
Well, yeah, that's true. But I couldn't shoot them in the house though.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah. But I had one of these.
That's cool, but not that cool.
Yeah. I had this awesome Nerf gun that it was like, it didn't shoot the Nerf like little arrow things
Yeah.
like we have now. It was just Nerf balls.
Yeah.
And it looked just like one of those grenade launchers that
Yeah.
has the multiple.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
tubes.
about.
Yeah, and like 3 would fit in each one, and it would be like poof, poof, poof.
Oh, and they would hum too.
Yeah.
They would haul.
Yeah.
Yeah, my kid's got one, and it doesn't look like any. Well, actually, it does. It kind of looks like a miniature Utos,
Oh, okay.
but it's white and orange and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's got 4 or 5 of the little suction cup darts on either side.
Oh, that's cool.
And that thing, he's not allowed to shoot in the house because those things come out freaking hauling.
Really?
Like he'll shoot and it's like doom-tsh, instantly. And you're like, holy crap. And that's from like 20 feet away.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not shooting that in the house anymore. And he actually hit my daughter in the eye with it. And luckily nothing happened.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's those things are pretty stout nowadays.
Yeah. Which is cool in a way. I mean, I think like toy guns are awesome because it's like we've talked about many times is how because of the video games, people have gotten more interested in guns. And that's probably really, really helps that whole situation for young kids because there's they can't obviously buy guns. Maybe they live in Europe or somewhere where they can't really get them very easily. So they buy some toy guns and it really just furthers their
Interest in it.
Yeah, exactly. And they start thinking like, man, it'd be cool, if we didn't have all these stupid laws and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I really hope that some of these gun laws can get changed overseas. I hate that, man. Hearing from people, from YouTube, I'm sure you did too, especially back when you're doing the Talking Lead show and from wherever, Australia and England.
Oh, yeah.
New Zealand, all these.
Speaking of which, I have got something I picked up for your dad at the Nashville Armory like 7 months ago.
Yeah.
It's sitting on top of my refrigerator still. And we've moved houses, and
Wow.
it's still sitting on top of the refrigerator. Some British guy was over here from England.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, well, I need more water.
He wasn't a British guy from Japan?
Yeah, no, it was. Uh-huh.
Okay.
But he was a Viking from Australia.
Okay, got it.
But he brought some infield parts for him.
Oh, okay.
So,
cool.
Has a little letter in there. Letter may have disintegrated now, but
Yeah.
no, I'm just kidding. If you're watching or listening, I'll get it to him, I swear. But Nashville Armory called and said, "Hey, don't you know that Hickok 45 guy?" I was like, "Yeah." Well, can you get him a message or get him something that a guy dropped off? I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I picked it up. Never did.
That actually happens a lot. Is someone will contact the gun shop and be like,
Yeah.
"Hey, do you guys know Hickok 45?"
Yeah.
And sometimes it is one that we know, and
Yeah.
they'll call Dad and be like, "Hey, this guy wants to ask you this question." It's like, send me a message.
There's been a couple of other times, but when I get there, it's a blank box duct taped up with no letters on it or wording, so I just leave it.
Anthrax.
Something.
Yeah. Remember when that used to be a thing?
Yes. When that used to be a thing.
Yeah.
Remember that was cool, man?
Yeah, that was the
That was
latest thing.
awesome.
Man. Yeah, everybody was, just putting poison through the mail.
Anthrax, man. The
crazy
band was
times.
awesome.
Oh yeah, they were.
I'm the Man. I love that song. I used to listen to it all the time.
Yeah, they were like one of the big three of the metal movement of Metallica, Anthrax, and Slayer.
That weren't hair metal with
Yeah.
spandex and
Exactly.
bedazzled
Yeah.
glasses. I just
You know what? Though I had to say, some of those bands actually kind of rocked it. Like Motley Crue, they were
Yeah.
like one of the worst ones for all that stuff. But their songs are pretty.
You
good.
know, I heard a song when we were on our way to Florida, or I don't know where we were, but my wife and I were driving around. We got satellite radio, so I'll put it on like the old rock stuff,
Yeah.
like Ozzy's Boneyard as well.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
So, anyways, Great White came on.
Oh yeah,
I forgot how much I loved that album when it came out.
yeah.
Oh gosh, that album was so good, and they were kind of an underrated band for that hair metal era. The Great
White's the name of the band, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? Okay.
Well, Once Bitten,
like
Twice Shy was the song that came on.
Okay.
But then I looked up the album. I actually think I may have even bought it as we were sitting there because, like, I forgot how many good songs were on that album. But
Yeah.
the only one anybody really knows about was Once Bitten, Twice Shy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that stuff.
I'll tell you another good one from that era is Rat.
Yeah.
Their famous song was Round and Round.
Round and Round.
Yeah, that's a good song. But I actually got the album that has that song on it. It's awesome. It's a great
Yeah.
album.
Yeah.
But I bought one of their other albums and it's not good. So
Quiet Riot.
yeah, Quiet
That's
Riot
another
was
good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't. Randy Rhoads played for them, right? Or am I thinking of a different band?
Back when I was into them, I didn't know the names of the people in the band yet.
Okay. I can't remember. Randy Rhoads started out at one of those bands. I think it was Quiet Riot, and then he played for. Then he went and played for Ozzy, and then got killed in a crash.
I can't
Plane
think
crash,
of
I
it.
think. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. What's the deal with music nowadays? It's like that whole like ballsy kind of like rock metal is just
Did
dead.
you just do the stereotypical talk show transition? Well, hey, so what's up with the?
I did.
What's the deal with the? So what's going on with the?
Yeah.
So what was the question now?
I don't remember now.
What's the deal with the music?
Yeah, what's the deal with music now? Why does it suck?
Didn't we have a whole show on this once?
I think so.
Yeah, but that's cool. So go back to episode, and that's where you'll edit in
Yeah.
the right number.
Except actually I won't.
No. just go look for one with the annoying guy at the end of the Hickok videos,
Yeah.
and you'll find it after
Yeah.
you listen to all
Yeah,
three
exactly.
or four of them. How many times have I been on now?
Let's see. Probably about 4 times. something
4
like that.
times. Crap.
Yeah.
I gotta beat your dad's number on Talking Lead. That was 5.
That won't
5
be
or
hard
6.
since it's not. Well, that's right. It's still around. It's just
Yeah. Yeah. Left hand carrying on.
Yep.
He's doing a good job. He's had a couple good guests on there here lately.
Yeah.
So it's good stuff.
Yeah. That's cool. Are you missing being on the radio? So
Yes and no. Like there's part of me that like, well, I know we didn't air a show for like 2-3 months,
yeah.
but there's part of me that like every Thursday I was like, oh no, I don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, gotcha. But the amount of time I'm able to devote to the school now
Yeah.
which is what's, is my future.
Yeah.
It's a lot more. So
I mean-
that's the no. I don't miss it that much. Plus, I can get a fix coming on here or
Yeah.
going over there every now and then. And
I mean, doing radio is really time consuming.
yeah.
I mean, it really is. That was something I didn't realize getting into. I just kind of did it. I'll just try this. But there is really no just like I'll try this. You got to either do it or not do it.
Yeah.
It's an ordeal getting shows lined up. And it's a lot of fun though. I mean, I have a lot of fun with it. Like when I'm actually doing it.
Oh yeah.
But getting it all lined up and organized and stuff. And I don't do the schedule like you guys used to do because that would drive me crazy. I hate schedules. I hate keeping schedules.
But you're more consistent than I was with the schedule.
Yeah, that's funny. That's true because you guys would always plan to do it like on Thursday and then it would get pushed back and stuff. Yeah. But I just do them randomly, and I might do like 2 or 3 in one day or something like that. Or actually, I don't know why I said that. I've never done 3 in one day, but I've done 2 in one day before.
You've done 2 in one day?
Yeah, I have done 2 before.
Did you change clothes and everything?
Yeah, I think I did
you?
actually. Yeah.
A wardrobe change.
Yeah, just a t-shirt. But yeah.
Because this is all just really a studio.
That's right.
It's like in this big warehouse, and he's got a whole wardrobe of all kinds of fancy stuff out there.
The background's actually not real; it's CGI.
Yeah,
I mean it's green screen.
Green screen. Yeah.
I told someone at we recently. I just got back from Georgia today, and I was telling you we spoke at this women's gun rights organization. I forget exactly what they're called, but they're really nice people and stuff. But I was
Southern Bells with Balls.
That's it. That's what it was. I couldn't remember.
Kidding. That's probably not it.
No, it's not. But I told one of them was asking me something about the 2 liters, like where we get those or something like that.
The store?
Yeah. And I was like, those aren't real. That's CGI. I do all that in post production.
Nice.
And she was like, really? Wow.
Impressive.
I can't believe I never would have guessed that. And I was like, I'm just kidding.
Out of every company, if I had a handful of companies of products that you guys use on your shows and on the channels, if one of the companies I own was a 2-liter soft drink company, I would have already approached you guys saying, here's the new Hickok 45 soda. Because if you think about it, the ammo you see for a split second when you're loading it. Right. The gun, that's the main character. Get it. But t-shirts, man. Hats, man. People notice it if he wears it a lot.
Yeah.
But the freaking 2 liters, because you usually do a slow-mo of a good one that blows up.
That's true, yeah.
So, I mean, that's where, like, I would have my logo all over that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anybody out there that wants to sponsor their 2 liters.
It'd be like NASCAR.
Just have a 2 liter with like 50 different logos of companies all over.
That was time to shoot the Home Depot 2 liter.
Also brought to you by Kinko's.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Just the orange 2 liters, the Home Depot one.
Yeah. And then the pots could be sponsored by Cheech and Chong.
They do. Aren't they starting to tour again?
Yeah, they are.
That's what I heard. And they're doing a remake of Up in Smoke, I think.
Are they?
Heard. Yeah.
That's awesome. Like they're going to be in it, or it's...
Yeah.
That's cool.
Or either a remake or they're older or something.
Okay, it's like a sequel. That's cool.
Kind of like they're making a sequel to Super Troopers 2.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Not a sequel to Super Troopers 2. That would be Super Troopers 3. But
Right.
they're also making a sequel to Super Troopers.
Yeah.
Water.
Trooper Troopers. It's kind of like that gun company that you guys used to work with over at Talking Lead. You're friends with them, like 2 Vets Arms.
Yeah.
I'm always really confused. Is it like 2 arms?
Yes.
Or is
that's
it
what
like
is.
2 vets and their arms?
No, it's a vet that has his 2 arms. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Or it's 2 vets and their arms. Like,
Their guns?
no, it's actually 2 vets.
Okay, so there's 2 of them.
The owner is the wife, who was also a combat veteran, and then her husband kind of does the R&D and development and manufacturing kind of stuff too.
That's cool. They seem really cool. I remember I
awesome
talked to
people.
one of them at the SHOT Show, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome people.
Yeah, I'm really actually kind of digging the whole side charger thing, to be honest. It's interesting. I got my hands on one. I haven't messed with one of those yet that I just absolutely loved yet, but I really I'm liking that concept of just the side charger, and it's just easier to grab it. And
it makes sense. Well, it's like we were talking about before the show. There's so many people making so many cool things.
Yeah.
And the AK-47 is a cool rifle.
It is.
I love it. And I've slowly converted to an AK guy from an AR guy. Except every little manufacturing thing and all the new ingenuity that they've come up with on everything. Why has somebody not taken this charging handle and put it on this side of an AK? And maybe there's some functionality issue why you can't do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's like reaching over like this and doing like a little yoga pose as you charge, and you still keep the muzzle down range. It's a little awkward.
It is like a yoga pose. That's funny.
It is.
I refuse, honestly, I like the mag thing, knocking it out. That makes sense.
I do like that.
But I refuse to do the up under thing. I just do over the top. That, to me, I just I know it's a little slower, but I just like it better.
I don't think I've ever tried it.
I just turn the gun sideways.
Oh, and then
do it and then flip it back.
I think I've done that before. But this one.
It's a little, I know it's smoother and faster. We practice a lot, but it's just, I don't know. It's weird.
I almost feel like when I do it, I'm supposed to go, whoa.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess I don't.
Yeah. But yeah, you would think somebody, I don't know, maybe someone does. I don't know. I'm not familiar with anyone who does, but you would think that they could take the AK and just completely reverse everything on it.
Well, I guess part of it would be ejection would be in your face.
Oh, well.
But why couldn't you just make a little slot for the charging handle?
Or have a turned up bolt handle, like on the, was it the Galil that's kind of the improved AK? I think that one.
I think so.
It's got the bolt handle. It's very similar to an AK, but it's turned up so you can reach it from the top a lot easier. So you can hold it straight up and still get it from the top.
Wait, is that the one with the trigger looking thing at the top too? No, that's the. Is it the Galil?
A trigger looking thing. What do you mean?
It's got this the charging handle looks like a trigger that's coming out of the top, and then it's got like a carry handle above it.
Oh, that's it's like the. Man, that's like one of the most popular video game guns. What's it called? The G35 or something like that?
No, not the G36. Oh, what is it? Continue talking. I'll find it.
Continue talking? Let's see.
Guns.
Yeah, guns, ammo,
stuff.
guns, shooting. Oh, recently.
Yeah.
What is it? I like you agreed. I didn't even say anything.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
It's incredible.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
Speaking of AKs, though, the CMMG Mutant, that's something we've been shooting lately, and that's an interesting gun. I haven't really
That's the AKAR, right?
Yeah, the one I was showing you.
Oh, yeah.
It's not. I don't just love it, and I'm just like, oh, it's the best thing. But it's cool. It's really interesting. I don't know. I like to see something new and that's innovative. That's where someone was thinking. I don't know. I like that, even if it's not the best.
Yeah, I really like the concept behind it. I haven't shot it yet, so I can't say much about it.
Yeah,
but I like the concept of being able to use the AK mags and
that's
a lot of the functionality is similar. But it's like I told you earlier. I need to shoot it before I make any call on it, because right now I'm thinking, okay, well, my AK.
Yeah.
Outside of the accessories you can put on that one a lot more. Well, I guess that's the selling point.
Well, it really does have some drawbacks, because it's like, okay, yeah, it's an AR,
but FAMAS.
The FAMAS, okay. Yeah. Not that familiar with that, but I know what you're talking about. It's so one of the drawbacks is it is an AR, but you still don't have a bolt hold open. It doesn't have a bolt lock. So, okay, then it's, I don't know, it's kind of weird, but then again, I actually prefer it. If I was gonna shoot that round out of an AR platform, I prefer the Mutant over some of these other ones where they've got like a standard AR that's chambered in it. And you got that weird boomerang magazine, and I don't know. I just like that you can use the same mags.
The extendos.
Yeah, extendo. What a ridiculous term.
Wow. What are we gonna call this? I don't know. Extendo. Okay.
The extender. Nah, let's try something else. Extendo.
The longer thing.
Yeah.
It's back to Jim Gaffigan. We're calling him back like crazy.
Yeah, I know.
What are we going to call it? It's like a pocket of meat. Hot pocket. Great. Now, what's our marketing slogan? Hot pocket. Brilliant.
Yeah, that's great. That's one of the most classic stand-up bits ever.
Oh my gosh. And then when you hear it, you're just going around all day going, Hot Pocket.
Yeah. Yeah, Gaffigan.
His bacon one's good too.
Oh, yeah.
And he wraps it up with, he goes, you cannot tell me that the success of Kevin Bacon has nothing to do with his name.
Yeah.
Because if somebody came up to you and said, hey, you want to go see a Kevin Sausage movie? You'd be like, huh, what?
That's kind of
But
awkward.
if you say, hey, we want to go see a movie with Kevin Bacon in it? Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I love that guy. He's awesome.
He is. Yeah, he's one of the greats for sure. I've been watching...
And what was really cool about it is when on the way to Florida, it's an 8-hour drive normally, but with 3 kids from 10 to 4,
yeah.
it ends up being about a 12-hour drive. But we heard one of his stand-up bits on the radio, and I was like, wow, he didn't cuss the whole time. So I looked on iTunes. So we bought all his albums because they're clean.
Oh, yeah.
I think he said a couple times.
Yeah.
But so we got to listen to it all the way to Florida with the kids without worrying about anything. So that was cool.
I'll tell you a good one that's usually his stuff is clean is Mitch Hedberg.
Oh, Mitch Hedberg's awesome.
Oh, man.
He's the king.
Yeah.
And then Dimitri Martin has kind of taken over that whole thing since Mitch Hedberg.
Dimitri Martin. I don't know.
He's got the same delivery style. He's a younger guy.
Yeah.
Of course, Mitch Hedberg passed. But
Yeah.
Genius stuff, man.
Yeah. I call Mitch Hedberg. He was I just had the biggest brain fart ever.
Yeah.
Kurt Cobain.
Yes.
He's the Kurt Cobain of comedy.
Yeah. Yeah, he really was. Hey, just some of the stuff he says, like, somebody asked me once if I wanted a frozen banana, and I was like, no. But then I thought, hey, maybe later on I'll want a regular banana. So, yeah.
That one about escalators. Sorry for the convenience.
Yes. Or I wanted to, my buddy called me and asked me if I wanted to help him move. And I was like, why don't you ever call me and ask me if I want to help you stay still?
Yeah. Or one of my favorite ones is he's like, the other day I started driving my car with the emergency brake on, which doesn't say very much for the emergency brake. They should call it a make your car smell funny lever.
Dimitri Martin, he has one that I almost wrecked the car. I listened to it the other day. He says, he said something, I don't want to tell it without getting it right, but he said the craziest thing I ever saw was when the entire synchronized swimming team drowned. Apparently, the captain of the team got a cramp, and they were really hardcore. So they all just went that way.
Yeah. That's hilarious. I love that kind of stuff. What's great about, I need to listen to him. I would probably like him. But Hedberg, what's cool about him is he does so many jokes and just like machine guns through them.
Yeah, that's the same way he does.
Yeah, if you don't like one, then here comes another one. You know?
And they're smart jokes too.
Yeah.
Like if you don't get stuff a lot, don't listen to Mitch Hedberg or Dimitri Martin because you'll be going, huh?
Yeah.
But some of them you're like, what is it? Oh, he's hilarious, man.
Yeah, he is. I'll tell you, lately I've been listening to a lot of Bill Hicks's like really old stuff.
Yeah.
So I watched this documentary about him. It was on Netflix. It's like True American something. I forget what it's called, but his really old stuff when he was like a kid, he was like 20, like 19 and stuff. It's really good. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, he was always just. I mean, he was unbelievable.
Yeah.
He got started when he was like 14 years old and stuff. Like he used to, him and a buddy of his, they would like sneak out of the house because his parents like wouldn't let him go and do comedy and stuff, you know, and they would just like sneak out of the house and just go down to the local comedy club and they just started doing it. They didn't care.
We need to come up with like a stand-up gun community stand-up thing.
Yeah, I do.
But then it would just be one political joke after another.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know. It'd be fun to try to come up with jokes that like only gun people would understand. Mm-hmm. You know? But the problem is it would be hard for them to all not be sexual though.
That's true.
I feel like everything
about a gun is sexual.
Yeah, I feel like every joke I thought of would be like some sort of sexual reference to something on a gun. Probably.
Speaking of which, like I went to grab one,
like
and there's not one anywhere near me.
It was right there, like forward assist.
Yeah. There's just everything about it is phallic.
Yeah.
It shoots projectiles out of the tip of the long.
Oh, and don't even get started on muzzle loading firearms. It really gets crazy when you get into that stuff, like ball starters and nipples.
I was watching a show on Outdoor Channel, and I think it was Gresham's kid.
Oh yeah.
And he goes, I really like this rail. It's long, it's thin, and it feels great. And the whole time he's doing this, and it's like, did he just did that DVR.
Yeah. Oh man, that's what man. There needs to be.
But we won't be able to talk about that stuff anymore.
Yeah, that's right.
ITAR.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. There needs to be. What I was gonna say before. We'll get into that in just a second. Like, there needs to be more. There needs to be more sense of humor.
Quit being boring.
That sounded like Robin Williams.
I did.
Yeah, he did.
Interesting. Oh my God, I didn't know I could do a Robin Williams impression.
You can. That's pretty good.
All I gotta do is stick my lower jaw out. Oh wow.
Oh man. Oh, now all you need is one of those like red balls to put on your nose.
Oh, don't go from talking about gun innuendos and say put a red ball on my nose.
Oh, but I was just gonna say, like, there needs to be more sense of humor in gun community. Like, it's too intense and too just like the shows on TV, you know, and some of the I mean, I don't know, some of the stuff on YouTube is a little intense at times, you know.
Well, and that's one of the things I wanted to do with Talking Lead when we started that up, is I wanted to bring some, you know, more laid backness to the industry, because we all get it. We're in a battle for our rights.
Yeah.
We're all in it.
It's serious. If you think about it really hard, it's like, oh man, this is intense.
It's very serious. Wow, did you like that?
I did.
Over the mic thing to wipe some sweat off.
That was nice.
Cool. Actually, I was just trying to flex because I've been working out lately.
Yeah.
No, but it's very intense. But the problem is there's a lot of media that are firearms related out there that their intensity is directed at the other side constantly, but who's listening to them?
Right.
We are. We're on your side. So entertain me a little bit too.
Yeah.
So that was kind of one of the things. But do I think that all that should stop? No, I think it should still be out there, because there's a lot of good stuff that comes through it that can be used, you know, that people can hear and utilize in their arguments and debates and everything else. But there did need to be some entertainment. Carnicon did a great job of that.
Oh man, I wish he could put out more videos.
Well,
awesome.
he stopped completely.
Oh, completely?
Yeah. He had some amazing stuff. Matt Best, Best 11X.
Yeah. He's
got a lot of good stuff. He does a good job of balancing the military humor with regular humor, and then sprinkling a gun stuff in there too.
Yeah.
I really like his stuff. That's it.
That's all.
I take that back. There's other channels that occasionally will do humorous stuff on them, but they're not known as that's the funny channel.
Right.
Like your dad says stuff that he doesn't even realize is funny, and we laugh our asses off at him. but Hickok 45 is not a comedy gun channel.
But we try to make it just kind of like laid back and not
right. It's laid back, and it's entertaining. And the majority of them out there are like Iraq Veteran. He does some funny stuff every now and then. Yeah, it's really funny. But the technical stuff he does is amazing too. Yeah, you know. So that was no knock on your dad. We all love his show.
I'll tell you
his thing.
Whatever you call it. Yeah, whatever it is.
Talkings. Yeah.
I'll tell you somebody who cracks me up sometimes is Such.
Yeah.
Because like the way he starts out his videos, especially the ones where he's doing like, well, I guess a lot of them, he starts out his videos by him like walking around, or like you've seen some of those, you know, him like walking through the woods with a pack, and he always looks so intense. Yeah. But like knowing him, it's funny. Oh, because he doesn't take himself that seriously.
No, not at all.
And then he'll also make it clear in the video that he's not taking himself seriously. So
I tell you one, here's a good one that has awesome videos, technical reviews, top notch, top of the line, but doesn't let his funny personality out on the videos a lot. Tim.
Oh yeah.
Tim from Military Arms Channel is one of the funniest guys you'll ever meet. But I remember when I first met him, we were going to Eric's shoot like 2 years ago. And I was in cramps. I was laughing so hard. And I was like, why don't you do this on your video?
Yeah.
He was like, I think it's hilarious that you thought I was just this uber professional Tim from Military Arms Channel. And I was like, I did. But he's hilarious.
Yeah, he does come across insanely professional. In
Oh
videos.
man, but he is so funny. And then, gosh, there's so many of them out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially now, I run across them all the time by accident. Like, oh wow, there's another. You know.
Demolition Ranch is funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did some funny stuff.
yeah. I don't like it when he sings, but he is funny.
I never see him sing.
He does sing.
Oh, you know who's hilarious? Just like I piss my pants laughing even when I just see his face come on the YouTube thing.
Who's that?
That tall, scrawny guy that does like trick shots.
Oh yeah,
What is his name?
yeah.
I forget it every time.
But
I come
he's
on the
more
show.
like funny and like a laughing at him kind of way.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I call him Skinnylicious a lot.
Skinnylicious. That's
Yeah.
a good name for him.
Yeah, he came up with it, but I ran with it.
Yeah. Did you hear?
My wife calls him Plinky,
Oh yeah.
so hopefully he'll get a comment on it, one of his videos that says Plinky,
Yeah.
and he'll call me yelling.
I heard he got kicked out of his house lately. You know.
Really?
Yeah.
For shooting too much?
Yeah. No.
Actually,
He's moving though. He made a video about it. And
yeah, he's moving to North Alabama, right? Somewhere like that.
yeah. Yeah. On the border of North Alabama and Colorado.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's where it is.
Just kind of like right now we're in Arkansas.
Yeah, exactly. Which is right next to Arizona.
Yep. Mm-hmm. A few miles from California.
Yeah.
But we don't want to cross into California.
No.
Yeah.
No. That's don't even
weird.
joke about that. Yeah. California, which is also on the border of New Jersey and Illinois.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird how all those it's like
We're really going far with this, aren't we?
it's weird how there's like these gun no man's land areas of the United States where it's like you just got to watch out for them and they're just kind of randomly placed around, you know. It's frustrating, you know, because like for example when I went out west, you know, we went through Colorado, you know, which is really cool about some things and really not cool about other things. And it's just, you know, you're one second you're in whatever, Arizona, New Mexico, or totally fine. And you're in Colorado where it's like, oh, we can't have.
Well, and it's one of the top hunting states in the country too.
Yeah. It's bizarre.
So it's kind of like, what's the deal? That's really weird.
Yeah. It is really weird. And then California too is crazy because they have so much open land out there.
I don't even count them anymore.
You don't count California?
I count the people there. I count
Yeah.
the state as being part of the United States, but they're just so. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's, you know, California tends to be trendsetters too.
And it's such a beautiful state.
Yeah,
Like Tahoe and Sacramento, San Francisco, all the way down the coast. You got the mountains, you got the beach, you got the desert, you got everything there. It's kind of
perfect
like
weather and
Texas.
stuff is what I've never been there, but I've always heard that the weather is like unbelievable out there.
Yeah.
And Illinois is a crazy one just because most of Illinois, and I've driven through a lot of it, and it's just woods. It's like here.
Yeah.
You know, until you get to Chicago.
Yep. Chicago controls that state.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember one time I was traveling through there, and I think the statute of limitations is up now.
Yeah.
But I had a Glock 19 on my hip. I think I had a backup revolver in my boot. Had a fully loaded AR in the back. And I'm just driving along, and I'm like, wow, Chicago's really got a beautiful skyline. Oh, my God, I'm in Chicago. Oh, crap. And so, like, I slowed down to right at the speed limit.
Yeah.
And I was just, like, freaked out. And then I hit traffic, and it was, like, dead standstill. And I'm just right smack dab in the middle of Chicago. I'm not about to get out and unload everything and put it in cases because then that's going to bring more attention.
Right.
And I was just like, crap, get to Indiana, get to Indiana. Finally, I crossed over. I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
It was a little panic moment there.
Yeah. It's scary. Well, just think about what happened to that lady in New Jersey not that long ago.
Yep.
You know, it's scary.
Yep.
It's really scary that something that's totally legal in one state, you go across the line, and all of a sudden you're looking at jail time. And it's a conflicting issue because while, one sense I respect states' rights. I mean, the states should be able to do what they want, but then still it's like, well, but it's also kind of crazy that in one state, something that's really normal in another state, you're just going to go to jail for like 20 years and have your life ruined.
Well, there's certain things that are states' rights with laws and stuff like that, but then we're back to the whole argument of this is a human defend myself any way I can. Right.
Yeah.
This has not got anything to do with, well, in Illinois, the climate's a little different, so we don't need to be having certain ammunitions. And it's got nothing to do with that. They just don't want you to be able to defend yourself with a gun.
Yeah, and the difference is,
dumb.
It's not like marijuana laws. It's in the damn Bill of Rights.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the big difference.
Well, the Bill of Rights was written on hemp paper, but
yeah, exactly. Which is kind of ironic. And didn't George Washington, he grew?
So the Bill of Rights was actually hemp. No, I'm just kidding.
So that part was implied, I guess, in the Bill of Rights.
It was a secret hidden
message.
Hidden message figured out.
Yeah.
Message.
Yeah. So that's just, I don't know. It's crazy. And man, it's so frustrating that we can't. I wish we could go back in time and tell those guys about, okay, look, we need to be careful about how we word this Second Amendment thing.
Can you be a little more specific?
Yeah.
And actually say, hey, don't take our beep guns.
Yeah. Exactly.
And we know that new guns will be developed, and those count too.
Yeah.
It doesn't just apply to muskets and revolvers.
It's too bad they didn't have a crystal ball. That would have been nice.
That's my least favorite argument I ever hear. Oh, well, the Second Amendment applied to muskets and revolvers. No, it applied to any weapon that you can defend yourself with.
That would be like saying the First Amendment only applied to hate speech of that time period. If new hate speech words come out or new whatever.
Damn, you're getting good at segues. Because now we can go right into the First Amendment threat.
Oh, yeah.
It's good. It's good. I like calling out the insides of radio because then it totally loses its power.
Yeah. That was an accident, though?
Yes, it was. Yeah.
No, it really was, though.
No, but
you know what I'm saying, though? It'd be like saying the same thing about words. It's like, oh, yeah, this only applied to, these certain words are okay to say, but as language evolves.
Right.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't cover that because they didn't know about those words then.
Well, that's what they're doing with this whole ITAR thing.
Yeah.
It only counts talking out in public. If you put it on the internet, you're not allowed to do it.
Yeah.
Why? It's so basically what this new thing is they're saying we cannot put technical data about guns on the internet,
which is vague as hell,
which hurts YouTubers, which hurts podcasters, which hurts bloggers, online magazines, all that stuff. It hurts everybody. And a lot of people make a living off of this, and they're saying we can't do it on the internet. Well, the next step is that we not be on the street corner talking about the Glock 19? Of course, we're not going to have a Glock 19 on the street corner waving it around.
Yeah.
But can we not talk about it? I mean, it's a First Amendment attack just as bad as the Second Amendment attack.
What about thinking about guns? Is that in there?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's the most ridiculous thing. And for there to be so little about it out there right now, it's kind of scary.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. That's what makes it a weird issue because I tried reading through. I mean, I say tried because I'm not a lawyer. Reading through the actual the document that was released. It's like all the changes and stuff. And it's just, I don't know. It's really hard to pinpoint any one thing that's like, oh, here's a red flag that definitely says this and that. So we're having to go off a lot on the interpretations by the NRA and stuff like that. And it's, I don't know. It's really tricky. It's a tough issue because I don't really know what's going to happen with it until it happens.
Yeah,
that's the problem. And then we have to definitely get on there and post our comments and do all that kind of stuff. But until it actually happens, it'll be hard to do anything about it.
It's got to be something that we attack just as hard as we attack the assault weapons ban.
Right.
And there's a lot of people that aren't doing a whole lot about it with their representatives and everything because they don't have a blog. They don't have a YouTube channel. They don't have a podcast or anything like that. So they're thinking, well, they're not taking my guns. I'll fight for that. They're just trying to take away their ways to talk about it.
Yeah.
Well, then you're not going to have that. And guess what? The main reason is that we were able to band together and fight the assault weapons ban. Everybody on the internet rallying the troops, getting everybody together. Here's a link. Go here and write your congressman. Go here, write this. Go here, do that. And
all the YouTube videos and stuff, making people aware of the different events and the rallies and all that kind of stuff.
Right, but now they're saying we're not going to be able to do that anymore. Well, let me take that back. The official ruling is we're not going to be able to do that without permission.
Yeah.
So we're not allowed to talk about something without permission, which drives me absolutely bat.
And that's why it's weird, because that's never been done before, ever, about anything.
No.
I mean, the most obscene thing that some people can't even imagine is allowed on the internet.
There's stuff about donkeys in Mexico. We won't go into detail.
Well, I wasn't going to go there, but
you mentioned something, but yeah, don't go look at that up.
Yeah, don't.
But I mean, there's weird crap on the internet, but then they tell us we can't talk about guns.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
And you know why it's not out there a lot? Because if you go to the media outlets that are anti-gun, if they agree with this ruling, they're agreeing with an attack on the First Amendment. Well, media outlets, they're based on the First Amendment,
right?
Freedom of speech. And I think they know legally that if they support this, they're supporting an attack on First Amendment. So they're just not talking about it.
Yeah. I think it would get, if they actually did try to, like for example, if they tried to take me and Dad to jail for YouTube videos.
Yeah. Well, that's what they're saying. It's like a $2 million fine and something like time in jail.
It seems to me like that would go straight to the Supreme Court and it would just get squashed. I would think.
But you still have to deal with the headache and legal fees and everything else. Yeah. It's scary. And we were talking earlier about other countries and their laws with guns. I saw an article where the UK, Britain, is trying to start to do knife buybacks.
Knife buybacks, because the knife violence has increased exponentially. Wow.
And the article is written from the perspective of this is what we're talking about here now. If you're like, we're not. But if somebody out there that's pro-gun is like, well, I get it. Maybe I don't need a 30-round, 100-round mag. That sounds reasonable. Well, yeah, it sounds reasonable to you at the time. But then when they do that, well, we already took your 30-round mags. Let's drop it down to 6 rounds. Oh, okay, that's reasonable. Okay, I still get to keep my guns? Yeah. Oh, no. We're going to go ahead and make you only have a revolver. Oh, okay, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
And it's just over and over and over again. Well, this all happened in England. Happened in England already. Now they're down to knives.
Yeah. Now they're trying to take those too.
Right. And it's anybody who's listening or watching that has kids, human beings are kids from the time they're little until the time they grow up. A lot of the psychological wiring is the same. Just like if you give your kids an inch, Daddy, can I have a candy bar? Okay, just a candy bar. And a soda? No. And a bag of chips?
Yeah.
If you give anyone an inch, they take a mile.
Yeah.
It's just, there's something in human nature that's like that. It's good to try to be mindful not to do that and appreciate what you get. But there's just something where you're like, oh, well, that bottle of water was easy. Hey, John, can I get a Diet Coke too?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense because it changes your perspective of what you can get.
Right.
So it's like, okay, my perspective is this of what I can get. I ask, and then I'm like, oh, so I can get that now. So then it's like, okay, now I can get all of these things.
That's kind of like negotiating a contract.
Yeah.
If you go in there and you're like, man, I think I can get 100,000 for this deal. I think I can do it. Yeah. All right. And you start off at 150 and they're like, okay. And you got 150. Then you're like, crap, I probably could have got 200,000.
Yeah.
And then you try to push and then it screws up the whole deal kind of thing. So that's what's going to happen. And am I saying that that's what the gun grabbing people are thinking? Probably the majority of them, yeah. But there's probably some that have been convinced, oh, that's reasonable.
Yep.
And they're going to be dragged down that hole of, well, we got those 100-round magazines. Let's go for the 30s now.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of the ARs. Well, they got rid of their ARs. Let's just give them muzzle loaders now.
Yeah. And we've got to use that same philosophy in the other direction. It's right. Like, okay, we got rid of that law, so let's get rid of some others.
And it's always going to be based on violence that's happening with whatever.
Yeah.
Why is England trying to do knife buybacks?
Was there some kind of...
Because they're knife violence.
Oh, yeah.
Or what about, I don't know, I didn't do any fact checking on this, so if I'm wrong, say it in the comments or whatever. What about the stabbings that happened the day after the church shooting?
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, there was like 33 people killed in a stabbing and somewhere. I remember seeing something.
It's really weird because that happened after Sandy Hook too. Remember that?
Yeah, I know. I thought the same
unusual
thing. That happened in China. I can't remember where this one happened.
It's really weird.
But I was kind of like, interesting. But violence is always going to be there.
Yeah.
We don't live in a utopian society.
No. That doesn't exist. The concept of utopian society.
No. So for you to tell me I can't defend myself with by any means possible, that's wrong. That's humanly. There is no liberal, conservative, anything. It's just wrong.
Yeah.
For me to stand here and some guy walk in that door, and this is what the government needs to think. If a guy walks in that door and holds a gun to your head and says, "Hey, John, give me all your money, and I'm going to kill you and your wife," for me to go, "Now, John, you're not allowed to defend yourself."
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're doing.
The appropriate response to this situation is to dial 911 on your government-issued telephone.
Right, and make sure you tell him it's going to be about a 15-minute response time.
Right.
Because I'm sure he'll be like, "Oh, okay, not bad."
Yeah.
It's someone telling you, you can't defend yourself. Sucks to be you. Yeah. You're going to die.
It happens.
But hey, overpopulation. We're helping correct.
Yeah, there you go.
So it's insane.
And even, me and Dad were talking about this the other day. So back to like a utopian society. Let's say hypothetically that everyone was like super enlightened and loved everybody and super connected and just wanted to be good and creative and artistic, and everyone was like that.
Oh, go ahead.
Eventually, like, I consider myself a pretty good person. I try to do good things and I try to, try to improve myself and expand my knowledge. But if world was like that, I think even me, I would eventually be like, I want to destroy some. Like, this is boring. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like, I think that's in human nature. Yeah. Is just to shake things up. So there's always going to be a certain amount of people that
we're easily bored.
Yeah. And that's nature. That's how nature works. That's how things move forward.
There's a reason why we're a country of entertain me mentality. Yeah. Is because we get so bored and a TV or a computer is so hypnotizing and it takes away that boredom from the wall. Yeah. So we've got to be able to entertain that. Anyways, I totally brain farted. It's interesting.
And regular
it's very
farted.
Interesting. Very interesting.
What if you brain farted and regular
you were talking
farted
about the Utopian thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it was the last time I was on the show or the time before, I made a comment, and a lot of people commented on this. I said, if you can give me empirical proof that we live in a utopian society, and I was just making a statement.
Right.
I wouldn't really do this.
Right.
If you can give me empirical proof that we're in a utopian society, there is zero violence, and there is absolute scientific proof that there will never be violence for the rest of humanity, I'll be like, fine, here's all my guns. Okay. I didn't really mean I'm going to give all my guns up. Right. That was just a comment based off of all the people that are saying, oh, you don't need this to protect yourself. You don't need that to protect yourself. Well, yeah, I do. There's a less than 1% chance I will ever draw my firearm. But I don't want to be on my deathbed going, dang, wish I would have had it then.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that if you showed me there's a utopian society in my utopia, I'm going to have all kinds of guns.
Exactly, yeah.
So people that took that the wrong way.
Yeah.
I was just making a statement. I wasn't going, man, I hope it's utopia so I can give all my guns away.
Yeah.
No, that's not what I was doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I was just trying to make a comment on the whole dynamic between the anti-gun people that are like, You don't need this to do that.
Yeah, and things will never. And things will never be perfect because that's not nature. Yeah.
Well, and let's say government fails, we rebuild, and we don't have that much of a governmental system, and we don't have that much of an infrastructure as a country. We're going to need guns not just for defense, but for food.
Yeah.
Because we don't have claws and canines 3 inches long to go jump on a deer and kill it. We do it with firearms, bows and arrows, weapons.
Yeah.
That's how we evolved into hunter-gatherers.
Because our survival instinct is, it's in here.
Right. It's in our brain. Yeah. We created these weapons.
Abilities, yeah.
Right.
And also, what about aliens, too?
Aliens.
The aliens that come down that will definitely not be, we of course won't be that outmatched if aliens come down.
Here.
That's true. We'll only be like slightly outmatched, of course, right? If aliens come down here.
Yeah.
And we'll need guns to defend ourselves.
Yeah, because if they have the technology to fly millions and billions of light years to get here, I'm really pretty positive that they would be able to defend themselves against bullets. We'd probably draw our AK down on them and they'd just go, "Oh, stupid."
Yeah. It'd be like showing up with a tank and then some guy has a spear,
Yeah. Oh, I get you. No, you
don't.
No, we just flew 1 billion light years in 3.5 seconds. So yeah, we got you.
Yeah, we got you beat by a little bit. Yeah. Honestly, if they're so advanced where they could do that, they probably wouldn't. They probably would have some way to where they can like project here or something. They wouldn't even need to.
Did you just hit puberty?
No, it's a project.
Yeah, but you squeaked.
Oh, did I hit puberty? Yeah. Not yet. I'm working on it.
Here.
I'm working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to grow a little bit.
Yeah.
A little short.
I'm just now starting to get interested in girls. So.
Nice.
Yeah. I went ahead and got married because I knew I would eventually.
Right.
So I was like, I want to go ahead and get that over with.
Yes. Yeah. Smart.
Yeah. Plan ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You already have one ready.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
On standby. Yeah.
Nice.
That's the way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
No one listened to me. I don't know. Aliens.
Hot Asian chicks that look like Zeke.
Yeah, no, didn't look like you. Just
sound like Zeke.
Yeah, exactly.
It's freaky.
Yeah, it was a scary dream. No.
I'm surprised you're not in the fetal position right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm glad I didn't really have that dream. That would be really bizarre. I'm surprised I didn't know because, man, I've heard that so many times.
Yeah. But the First Amendment thing, back to that.
Yeah.
So if you notice too, like I've even tried to watch some of the more conservative. I rarely watch news. I try to get all the information I can through trusted other sources and put it all together for me. But I've tried to watch a little of the conservative news stuff too, and they're not talking about it on there either. So something's fishy about the whole thing.
Yeah.
Why it's not being broadcasted, why it's not being talked about.
Why is it so vague?
Right. The only people we're hearing about it from is our community, our circle. And it's very, like you said, it's very vague. It's just a hardcore attack on the First Amendment.
It sounds almost too crazy too. That's the thing. It's like,
and
I don't know.
Why would they allow people to have anti-government, anti-American, anti-USA speech on YouTube and everything else, but we can't talk about guns?
Yeah.
None of it makes sense.
No, it doesn't.
Their whole reasoning behind it is because of the ITAR stuff. What is it? International trade and something regulation?
Yeah.
Something like that. But basically what they're saying is nobody on the internet can disseminate information about technical data about guns. So your dad saying this is a Smith & Wesson Model 29, it's a revolver. All of a sudden he's given some technical data that goes internationally outside the United States. So that what they're saying now is because the World Wide Web is the World Wide Web.
Right.
Anything we're saying on YouTube or this podcast or anything that's technical data about guns is disseminating information internationally to countries outside the United States about firearms. So we're in violation of ITAR laws.
Yeah. That's just bizarre.
It's garbage.
Man, I just hope that this technology just keeps pushing and keeps pushing on because as as people get more and more connected, and especially as we develop technology that makes travel a lot easier, I mean, all these lines that we hide behind are going to become even more silly of an idea. You know, now think about this. Like, this is something I've thought about lately. What if all of a sudden, overnight, snap your fingers, and we have technology that enables us to be anywhere in the world in 30 minutes? Like, to travel anywhere in the world in 30 minutes, right? Let's say we had that technology.
Beam me up, Scotty.
Exactly. Think about how much the world would change. Like, this idea of, like, you know, this is my country and my beliefs, and that, like, that would just become silly because everybody would be everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's just like those lines would eventually just dissolve.
Yeah.
You know? And that, to me, that's inevitable. I mean,
if the dollar collapses, that's the scary part. It may happen quicker than we think.
Yeah. I don't know. But it's crazy. It's like we're all humans on the same damn piece of rock, but we're all still working against each other as hard as we possibly can.
Yeah.
Oh well, we'll figure it out eventually.
Belief systems.
Yeah, exactly. Belief systems.
Well, and back to the internet and the stuff we're putting out there. Y'all been doing this for how long? 7 years?
Yeah, something like that.
What's the longest YouTube gun channel? 8?
The
Maybe
longest YouTube gun channel? Let's see. Nothing Fancy was the only guy really. Well, the only guys that really came before us would have been like Nothing Fancy, maybe Cutlery Lover, but he's nailing knives. But Nothing Fancy started, like, I actually looked it up. He started like 4 or 5 months before we did.
Okay, so 7 years.
Yeah.
On average. I'm sure there were blogs before that. So let's just say 10 years. So for 10 years, I have yet to read one story where somebody in a foreign country went out and killed a bunch of people with guns that they built based off technical data that have come from the internet.
Yeah.
And run around going, oh, Hickok 45 taught me this. Oh, I'll kill you all.
Yeah.
Hickok. It's not happening.
Yeah.
So where is it coming from?
Yeah.
I mean, I get when they do the Newtowns, the church shooting, all this stuff. I don't get where they're coming from logically, but I see the trigger, right? Mm-hmm. I don't see the trigger for this.
Right.
What's the trigger? What has made them do this?
That's why it almost...
and that's why probably why they're not talking about it on the media is because if you have a mass shooting, when people who are on the fence go, well, why are you wanting to ban guns? Oh, Newtown. And they try to sway them.
Yeah.
Well, if all of a sudden they start talking about this and this, ITAR, you can't talk about guns and stuff, they're going to be like, well, why are you assaulting their First Amendment rights? They have nothing to point to.
Yeah, well, they could be giving it the whole, like, Patriot Act, Obamacare treatment, where they don't want you to really know much about it. It's just kind of like, just kind of slide this in,
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's scary. It's, Patriot Act took our Fourth Amendment rights.
Yeah.
They tried to take our Second Amendment rights and failed.
Yeah.
Well, they kind of have taken a little bit of them because in all reality, we should be able to own any gun we want.
Oh, yeah.
And now they're attacking the First Amendment.
Yeah.
At some point, we will have zero rights. And all the people who were anti-gun for whatever reason, just like I talked to people when the Patriot Act came through, and they were like, oh, no, this is going to keep us safe. It's going to protect us. All they have to do is say you're a terrorist, and they can come in your house and take whatever they want and do whatever they want to you.
Just like during
no warrant.
Just like during the Cold War.
Yeah, exactly. You're a communist. We can do whatever we want to you.
Yeah.
Just because they say it. There's no due process. There's nothing being done to protect us because of the Patriot Act.
And didn't they do something similar to that after World War II with the Japanese Americans?
The internment camps.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just put them in basically giant cages.
Yeah.
Fences, kept them in there.
So it's not the first time they've done something like that.
Right. So and they do it under the guise of keeping us safe. So.
Yeah. It's just a matter, people just need to decide, like, what's more important to you, freedom or safety?
Yeah.
They will just split off the country. Okay, all the safe people who live up there, all the free people will live down here.
Yep. Well, and we almost need to do a harder push as gun people in the media right now to tell the people who aren't in the media world of the gun world to help us out.
Yeah.
Talking to the representatives and everything else. Because before it affected them. They don't want anybody coming and taking their guns out of their safe. Now, all it's going to do is take away some of their entertainment, which they can find somewhere else.
Right.
So, but that's not all it's going to do.
Yeah.
If they take away this, it's just like the knife thing in Britain.
Yeah.
Well, that was reasonable. Well, they just can't talk about guns on the internet. They can still shoot them and have whatever they want. Well, yeah, that was reasonable. Now, what's the next thing that's reasonable?
It's like that. What's that phrase? Death by 1,000 cuts or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing that they try to do.
Yeah.
It's a really tough. It's a tough. That's something that I've been thinking about. Something I've been thinking about some lately is strategies. Activism strategies or whatever. Because especially where I had Adam Kokesh on the show, a lot of people his strategies are unpopular.
Right.
And I made it clear even in our interview together that I didn't like some of his strategies.
Right.
But sometimes I'm not sure. I don't know if he's the guy to do it, but I'm not sure if we don't necessarily need someone who's willing to go out there and disobey laws to draw attention to them. That's a strategy. I don't know if that's a good strategy or that's the best strategy or if it's the worst strategy, but it is a strategy. And then there's other people who I've known that they basically are just like, I don't care about any of it. I'm just going to do what I want. I don't care. They take me to jail. They take me to jail. Don't care. Just going to do it. Just going to do what I want. And then there's people who are kind of more like me who I follow the laws, but I try to do it the right way. I try to use the system that I've been given to try to get some of these things back and stuff. But it's tough. It's frustrating. I think there's a point where a lot of people would just give up and say, fine, I don't care.
Yeah.
Take me to jail. I'm just going to be a free American. And if they got a problem with it, then.
Well, and all those strategies worked. I mean, civil disobedience has worked.
Yeah.
Riots, I don't condone them, but in certain situations, they've changed things.
Yeah.
Every strategy on making change has somehow worked. It may not have been the greatest way.
Right.
It probably isn't the way we should have gone about it, but has affected change. Education is another way.
That's the biggest one. It's
is educating people the right way to do stuff. I've taken 3 different people that were vehemently anti-gun. I had to separate them out and only talk to them individually. This wasn't all at one time.
Yeah.
Okay, you go in that room, you go in that one like that. No, like over time, just talking to them individually, and now all 3 of them own guns.
Yeah.
But it was just common sense, education, science, and logic. All that stuff together, people who were anti-gun, it gets kooky, crazy.
Yeah, I think education is the biggest thing. But the thing is, people don't want to learn. And I was one of them. You hear the term about people waking up or people who are asleep or whatever. Yeah. Like, I'll admit it, I was asleep. I thought more about things than a lot of people. I've always been interested in a lot of things. But when it comes to politics and the government, I was asleep. Like, I knew, the government, they do bad stuff and they want to take our guns. I knew about that stuff. But I didn't understand to the extent of what was really going on and the trickery that was happening and all this kind of stuff. And
there's 3 corruptible powers in the world, and it is money, sex, and power itself. And I want to believe, you're talking about the government and all the bad stuff they do. I want to believe that the majority of people that get into it for the right reason.
Yeah.
But all 3 of those things are prominent in the government.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of corruption that happens. I mean, and then to continue their feed of money, sex, or power, they have to take away from people who aren't in the know.
Yeah.
So they can keep their lifeline.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I've always wondered about, so like there's a point to where money, you make so much money. Mm-hmm. I'm not even talking about billions. I'm talking about beyond multi-billionaires, insane amounts of wealth.
Yeah.
I think there's people that have money that we can't even comprehend how much money they actually have. There's a point where even before that, where money no longer becomes a drive.
Right.
And even sex, when you have that much money, it's like, well, I'll let the listeners do the math on that. If you have that kind of money, sex is not exactly like something you have to go hunting for.
Yeah.
And then the power is the one thing.
Yeah.
like even power, it seems like there would be a point to where
You control everything.
that wouldn't even be a drive. So it makes you go like,
Well, that's when weird stuff starts happening.
yeah,
Because it's back to what we were talking about a minute ago. Humans get bored easily.
yeah,
So you bust your tail and you make all the money in the world. And you get a yacht and you get a Lamborghini and you get the big house. And we're also never satisfied. We're never content.
right,
How many times have you gotten a new car, new truck, new motorcycle, whatever, and you're like, oh, this is the greatest. My life is complete. And within 6 months, you see another one, you're like, huh.
I wonder if I could get that.
I want to get that. So if you have billions, then it's easy to get that. Well, eventually that becomes old.
Yeah.
Well, then the sex thing, and let's create an imaginary character so we don't, accuse anybody of an adultery or whatever else.
Yeah.
So you're single bachelor or bachelorette, whatever.
Yeah.
You just go do whatever you want. Every position, every person, groups, whatever. You got all this money in the world. Now you're having all the sex in the world.
Yeah.
Let's say they even get all different types of things.
Yeah.
Eventually they get bored.
Yep.
Well, they got all the power too. So they start controlling and they control and they control more and they control. Well, eventually you get bored of that too. Well, then
What do you do?
if you've been within the laws so far, what happens after that?
Yeah.
And that's where I think it gets dangerous. People can't control that,
What I think.
maintain a level logical head.
Right. And I think once you get past those things, that's where you get the real reasons that some of the things that we see in our world are happening, and they're being trickled down through so many layers that on the surface to us they look like one thing, and then you get a little deeper and it looks like something else, and you get a little deeper, it looks like something else.
Yep.
But really, if you get to the source of the problem, it's like we might not even be able to comprehend it.
Yeah. Well, look at how many millionaire, billionaires, whatever, just wealthy people in the last, since we were in high school. How many have we seen get caught for like crazy illegal stuff, murders, human trafficking, all this stuff that if you met them before, would they have done that?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Did they just push and push and push to the limit where they get away with it a few times and they're like, this is the ultimate, I'm a god, whatever.
Yeah.
And then they get caught. Have you seen the movie, what is the name of it? Foxcatcher?
No, I've heard that's good though.
It's really good.
Is it?
Really good. It's a true story. And I won't give too much away, but it's kind of talking about what we're talking about.
Yeah. That sounds
No
interesting.
spoiler alerts.
Yeah.
But
I'm trying to do spoilers on the show. Unless it's a really old movie. It's like, come on.
I know some people that are millionaires, and some of them are very well balanced, and other ones have gone a little sideways.
Yeah.
So,
Am I one of them? Because everyone knows that anyone on YouTube is pretty rich.
y'all make $1 million a day, right?
Let's see. We were doing like 850,000. So
Oh, well, y'all earned it then. Y'all suck.
I know we're slacking.
Because YouTube makes you rich.
Yeah,
No.
not at all.
Not at all.
It's really. I mean, I can't complain. I have the best job in the world, so
Yeah.
I can't complain. But I will anyways. It's a little bit frustrating sometimes that YouTube, even though it gets the same amount of traffic as TV, it doesn't get respected in the same way financially or any way, except by the people that we appreciate so much to listen to it and watch it.
And that's the thing. I made the joke about the 2 liters earlier, the NASCAR thing. Especially in the outdoor realm, firearms.
Yeah.
There's a reason why you see SDI stuff on Hickok 45, Iraq Veteran, Military Arms, 22 Plinkster. It's because we know marketing is numbers. It's how many views you get.
Yeah.
If we advertised on outdoor channels, Sportsman's, Pursuit, any of those, the numbers we would get pale in comparison to what we would get on a YouTube channel with a big following. So people in the business world don't understand that, but I think they're starting to wrap their heads around it.
Yeah.
Now you got to pick and choose the right YouTubers, because there's some channels out there that, you don't want your
You don't want your
company
brand associated. Yeah.
right? But if you know them and you vet them and you figure out, okay, these guys aren't going to do something stupid, then you're fairly safe. But back to the whole YouTube and how people don't get how valuable it is and how many views you get. The other thing about YouTube is when it comes to the Google AdSense money, it's all over the place.
Oh my God, yes.
There may be one month where you're like, holy crap, we actually made some money.
Yeah.
And the very next month, you had the same amount of views. Oh, but the formula's changed and the algorithm's different, and you didn't make jack.
Yeah.
So people got to realize that too. But as far as like from a sponsorship standpoint, if you have a company out there and you're looking to market and you're looking to promote your company or your service or whatever, look at these social media things, whether it's YouTube or Instagram or I almost says face page, Facebook, MySpace, any of that stuff. If they have the views, if they have the big following, I know some of the Facebook videos are starting to surpass YouTube videos. Like Four Guys Guns, their Facebook following is ridiculous. They'll post a video and have 300,000 views like that.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Well, because the thing about Facebook is the video, when it's scrolling down, it just plays automatically.
Yeah, it just starts going.
So if you don't watch it, it's just like, oh, there's a video. And then
and it catches your eye and you look at it.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's something that I think more companies outside of the firearms realm, like you were talking earlier, are starting to get it. So you'll see Wendy's and McDonald's going to these company or these channels and utilizing them because they're like, oh wow, I get more views and more exposure this way. Not only that, here's the other thing from a business perspective. Advertising on social media, or especially YouTube for the main thing, YouTube and podcasts. If I invest in advertising with your channel, for instance, and the Hickok 45 and Son radio show, Gun Culture Radio, goes on for another 3 months. And then you're like, you know what? I'm done. Finished.
Yeah.
That advertising that we paid for is out there forever.
Yeah.
Constantly getting views every single day. If I put something on Outdoor Channel, they don't have on demand. And that's where I think they're slacking a lot. They need to really work on that. If I put it on Outdoor Channel, once it's seen, unless they rerun that show, it's gone.
Yep.
There's no repetitive advertising going on out there. So I think people are really starting to wrap their heads around it, but it's really not quite. They're still in that YouTuber. Hey,
my grandson's got one of them.
Yeah, I don't. What's a YouTube? I don't.
Who's tube?
Why people? All those views ain't real. They don't have 1 million people watching them.
Yeah.
And they do.
Yeah.
But it's just we're back to education.
Yeah.
It's educating people and them relearning. You have to, and that's a big cost in business too. Is re-educating your demographic on what's going on.
Yeah.
So it's re-educating the firearms industry on what YouTube is, how you can utilize it. Don't just go throwing stuff at any YouTube channel that says they're a gun channel, because you could end up in a world of hurt, which then hurts everybody else. Because let's say Billy Bob Johns, I hope there's not a Billy Bob Johns channel.
I'm sure there is. No.
Let's say Billy Bob Johns starts a YouTube gun channel, right? And he does 2 good videos. And he does one that hit, let's say he did a Glock 43 video and got it out before everybody else, and he got 100,000 views on it. Glock goes to him and they're like, hey, here's, so-and-so and so-and-so amount of dollars. We want to sponsor your channel. Awesome. Next thing you know, he's blowing up cars in his neighbor's yard.
Yeah.
And making a fool out of all of us. Well, what happens? Not only does he lose his sponsorship, probably gets in trouble with the law, looks bad on the gun community as a whole.
Yep.
But he hurts the YouTube channels that are legitimate and working hard and showing safe and responsible gun ownership, because Glock's like, oh, we're never dealing with YouTube again.
Yeah, because people look at YouTube as like this one collective thing, and in a sense it is, but I mean, you don't compare like the show The Walking Dead with like Honey Boo Boo or something. You know what I mean? It's like
I do.
Oh,
They're very similar.
other people don't. But like,
except Honey Boo Boo's family doesn't get shot.
yeah,
Not saying that they need to. She's a cute kid. The family's nice. They seem like good people. I'm just gonna stop right there.
okay. Anyways, but it's like it's on TV. You know, you make a distinction. You don't say like, oh, that TV it's junk because I saw this one thing. But on YouTube at this point, you know, that's they still look at it that way. People still, like you said, people still think of it as cats and music videos. You know, it's still cats and music videos.
Yes.
So
Pretty much.
yeah. So damn, they're right.
Dang it.
we gotta start incorporating cat and gun videos.
Well, you've had a cat in here half the show.
Oh yeah.
You shut the door. And
Yeah.
like,
I know.
just point a laser sight at a gun and make the cat go.
Yeah.
Is that the way they sound?
I think so. Yeah.
They sound more like a zombie cat.
I want to make a YouTube video that's like the culmination of everything on YouTube. It has like a cat doing something funny, some sort of like trick shot of some kind, and like
Gay twins.
Yep, gay twins.
Yep.
A music, some kind of music video.
Yep.
Got to have some kind of what else? Oh, someone getting hurt.
Yep.
Someone has
like
to get
face
hurt.
plant.
Yeah, some kind of car wreck.
Yep.
You know, and
Fight
a fight. Yep.
with somebody going world star.
Yeah.
In the background.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That. Oh, a cop, like a cop doing something
Cop
messed
beating
up.
up somebody.
Yeah. Someone getting hit in the head with a gun that's too powerful.
Cop doing something messed up. Have you seen the cop singing Taylor Swift?
No, I haven't
I'll
seen
show
that.
you after the show.
Okay.
So when you get off this video, go and Google cop sings Taylor Swift. And it's a bald guy in his patrol car. And apparently he forgot that the dash cam was on. And he's doing a patrol singing that whole Shake It Off song. And he's dancing and he's slinging his hands. But what's hilarious is like as other cars will come by, he'll freeze and go, hey, how's it going? Yeah. Nod his head and wave. And then he'll start singing all crazy. And apparently, and this is the story I've heard, I could be wrong. The next morning when they have their little briefing, the sergeant was like, okay, we got this. And I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware of this. And he pressed play. And the guy was like, oh my God. And everybody's dying laughing. But since then, he's been on like Today Show or something. And he's actually got to meet Taylor Swift and all this stuff. Because it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean,
funny.
you will pee your pants laughing watching it.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh, if you want to, but while we're on the topic of YouTube videos,
Yeah.
if people listening want to watch something really crazy,
They're already watching your channel. Don't try to promote it.
okay, something almost as crazy.
Oh, okay.
All right, there's this video series out there. There's 4 of them, I think, and it's called "Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared." And there's like number 1, 2, 3, and 4. Have I shown you these?
No.
I haven't shown you these. They're really weird. It's like imagine like
No. Is it the cartoon ones?
they're like puppets, sort of.
Yes. You did show me that.
Imagine like a really weird, messed up Sesame Street.
Yeah, it's beyond that.
Yeah, it really is.
It's yeah. You sent it to me, and I kind of was like, "Oh my God!" Someone just hit me in the head.
Yeah, I love weird stuff like that, though.
It's funny though.
All right, well, I guess we talked to him long enough.
Huh?
I guess we talked to the one
Very,
fan,
very interesting.
the one,
Very amazing.
the one listener that's listening. I think we talked to him long enough.
Dude, don't sell yourself short. You got at least 10.
Come on, man. 12, 13 at least.
Nope, 10.
Okay,
That's it.
10. Is that counting you or not counting you?
That's counting me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Dad. Okay, so now I'm down to 8.
Your dad actually listens, watches.
Yeah, he has to listen because he has to make sure I don't say anything too weird.
So you have to edit every show to 5 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, there's all kinds of other stuff that I say that he's just like, no, people aren't ready for that yet.
So one day you're gonna just post this like 5-hour video of all the weird stuff you say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's gonna be awesome.
And sometimes I'll make a show and I'll leave like a tail on the end of it that's like an hour long where there's nothing, but then I'll like squeak in like something. Yeah, I do that all the time.
Squeak it in.
Squeak it in.
Squeak.
Well, because I haven't hit
I've seen the
puberty
little
yet.
30-second quick hitters you've had every now and then.
Oh yeah. I try to do those every now and then.
Yeah.
I did. Have I done one for you yet? Yes, I have. I did the NSA one. Did you watch that?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I'll have to go back.
Yeah. So you were on one of those. You're famous now.
Are we talking about the NSA?
Yeah, we were.
So I'm probably on the list.
Yeah.
All right. Why did I just sound like Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah, he did.
All right.
Have you seen the Jim Carrey parody of the Lincoln commercials?
No.
Oh, it's great. Have you seen the Lincoln commercials? Though?
Yeah, where he's just talking to himself.
Yeah.
I don't have friends. I just drive in a car.
Yeah.
And I drink a glass of water in a cafe and I get in my car. And then I drive in a different Lincoln all over town.
Well, the Jim
I started
Carrey
to
one,
sound like Bill Clinton there.
Yeah,
for a second.
it was. It was getting to Bill Clinton. But Jim Carrey was like, he's doing the thing McConaughey always does with his fingers and like this.
Yeah.
And he's like, whenever I get done rolling up this booger. It's great. You got to watch it. Which McConaughey, to give him some credit, he was pretty awesome in Interstellar, I thought.
He was.
He was really good in that movie.
Yeah. He came a little anti-gun statement. But,
Yeah. But whatever. It's art. He's a good artist.
I can suspend the artist's viewpoints to enjoy their art.
Yeah. Exactly. Because it really was. That movie really was a work of
I
art.
can suspend Tom Cruise's whacked out weirdness to enjoy a Mission Impossible.
Yeah. Because Tom Cruise, all that being said, he's a pretty good actor.
Yeah. I mean, he's good. He's
Yeah.
just freaking crazy.
Oh, man. Don't even get me started on that.
Well, don't talk about his religion because they come after you if you talk about it in the media.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. We'll let other people talk about it in the comments.
Yeah, they can enjoy it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we'll talk to everyone later. Here's my sign off. Goodbye.
Bye. And as always, everybody, bye.
Yeah. Actually, my sign off is like a Southern goodbye. That's kind of the sign off because I'm always like, all right, I guess we're done. Talk for another 10 minutes. And then, okay,
Yeah.
now we're actually done.
Are we actually still recording now?
Yeah, we are.
Because we could come up with something cool for your sign off. Like, see ya, people.
Yeah.
or shoot more guns. No. Or
something about keep your friends closer, enemies.
and loved ones away
Something.
from you because your guns are in your closet.
Yeah.
No, that's not it either.
No.
Oh, here's a good one. Life is good. There you go.
That is a good one.
Somebody, I guarantee you nobody's ever used that. No.
Especially not a major corporation that sells like T-shirts and hats and things on the back of
true.
Jeeps.
That's true. Yeah. They probably, they live, we sleep.
Ah, there we go.
There you go.
All right. Signing off. They
Say,
live. We sleep.
You can make your guests say we sleep.
Okay. Okay, there we go. All right. Got it.
Ready? Try again.
All right. So I say they live, and then we just imagine that they say we sleep.
No, I'm your guest.
Oh. I was thinking of people listening for some reason. Okay. All right.
I'm truly his imaginary friend
Yeah.
in the form of a hot Asian.
You're a hologram. Okay. All right. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. They live.
We sleep.